I'm a 25-year-old trying to overcome porn. I've realized that the moment after I've fallen into watching porn, I'm overwhelmed with self-hatred and self-loathing, which then leads me to discouragement and a lack of desire to continue fighting. Do you have any advice on what to do the moment those thoughts come? Yes, I do. I'll tell you, there are twin sins here at work. I know this because my spiritual director told me every time I go to confession, I have to confess these two sins. They are intertwined and interrelated. The one is self-reliance, and the other is self-loathing. You see, when we try to rely on ourselves to overcome our sins, to overcome our addictions, guess what? It never works. So then we beat the SHIT out of ourselves that our self-reliance wasn't reliable. Self-reliance, self-loathing, totally intertwined here. In fact, porn use itself is self-reliance. It is the sin of self-reliance. What do I mean? One of my mentors and professors, love this man, the late and the great Monsignor Lorenzo Albacete. He says this: every temptation comes down to one single temptation.
Every single one of them.
It's the temptation to believe that the satisfaction of the desires of my heart is totally up to me. I'll give you an image of what I'm talking about. The most original desire we feel the moment we are born, right? The common denominator of all human desire, the moment we are born, it's desire for the breast. And when mother presents her breast to us and we drink, that's a theology lesson. We realize as little infants, there's something bigger than me that I need to rely on, and that bigger reality is reliable. I can open my desire, I can let my desire be known, and I can trust that this love, bigger than I am, is coming to me to meet my desire. Mother, child, infant, hunger for the breast, the giving of the breast, theology lesson. In this world, however, there are lots of reasons we have hungers and it seems nobody's coming for us. The original sin is the belief that God's not coming for us to meet our desire. And so here's the image. We take satisfaction into our own hands because we no longer believe that bigger love is coming to meet us, right? This is porn use right here. Am I saying it's a sin? Am I saying it's a sin for infants to suck their thumb? No, that's not the point. It's an image.
No, it's an expression story.
Of taking satisfaction into our own hands. And yeah, there's a semblance of satisfaction because I'm activating that sucking reflex, and there's pleasure in doing that. But am I going to get any nourishment out of that whatsoever? It's a great image for what we're doing when we turn to porn. We feel the ache, a primordial, deep hunger and thirst to behold the beauty of the body, right? To experience sexual release. We don't believe God's going to meet us there. We don't believe that there's any bigger love that's going to come for me to meet me there. And so with porn, we take control, we take satisfaction into our own hands. There is no lesson in love. It's a lesson in total self-reliance to satisfy our own desires. There's a semblance of satisfaction, but zero nourishment. In fact, it's not only zero nourishment, we're filling ourselves with poison, right? So there's the sin of self-reliance. Our self-reliance is not reliable and we hate ourselves for it, and the cycle just continues. In the very moment of falling into porn use, we have the opportunity, once again, to learn that fundamental theology lesson. In fact, even before the porn use happens and the desire kicks in and we're tempted to stick that thumb in our own mouth, that's the moment to pause and to say, I believe that there's a bigger love coming for me. Right here in this temptation, in this place, in this twisted, lustful desire, I believe that somebody loves me here, and I believe this desire itself is for that love, ultimately. And I'm going to stay in the ache. That's what we should do ahead of time that can prevent us from falling. But in falling and sticking that thumb in our mouths, what do we do then when the self-loathing comes in? Very similarly, we open the fact that we fell into self-reliance. We take the thumb out of our mouths. We allow ourselves to feel the ache again, and we open it up. If we stay here, we're just going to boom, boom, we're going to beat ourselves up because we hate that we did what we've always done. We relied on ourselves to overcome our sin. It didn't prove reliable, so we hate ourselves. And in hating myself, I feel the ache again. I'm turned in on myself. I have no resistance to the desire itself anymore, so I indulge all the more. It's just a vicious, vicious cycle. And it's all turned inward. It's all self-reliant. The way out, if I can give you the visual, is like this. Stay in the ache. Open it up. Trust that there is a bigger love coming for you. I've said much more about this elsewhere. In fact, I talk about this. I actually have it right here. I talk about this in my latest book, Eating the Sunrise. Highly recommend it. And there are some videos we'll have in the description below where I say more about porn, about overcoming lust, about staying in the ache, about turning desire into a prayer. This is the way forward. Be not afraid. Check out some more of our content. We have a lot more to say on this subject.